Okay, so good afternoon. Okay, because I just arrived this morning, in case, and also my accent is starting getting very soft. If you cannot hear me very well, just raise your hand. I can repeat my statements. I'm Hong Kong Chinese, but I was born in China, so I get a very special, unique background. So I have to tell you where I come from, what I'm working on, before you guys can pay more attention to my PowerPoint. Okay. I worked for more than 20 years. I'm an electronic graduate from UK, and then I started like a programmer developer for the first 10 years, and then move on to do something called the IT audit that's related to the ISACA, because I get 3 or 4 certificates from these organizations. After that, I also get involved in something very interesting. It's called the investigations. Because I'm talking about when from 2002 till 2008, I worked for a Dutch company called Philips. Okay, as a is it you also come from Philips? Oh, okay. I work for a guy called Peter von Bommel. Okay, it's one of the so-called very bright CFO I ever saw, and then I joined my family business to run a textile mill, and one of the key successes is nothing related to the forensics, something related to how I push up the stock price, because I'm also an accountant. And last year I earned some money through the stock options. And then this year I focus on in major 2 areas. One is on my research, because I still have a PhD in knowledge management, and then I gradually extended to cover more areas like forensic and securities, and at the same time also open a new factory in China to do some interesting product like using fiber optics, something that we carry data to convert into something called we can wear, okay, wearable fabrics. And also I'm also exploring another adventures is that to embed some wire into the fabrics so that they can carry signals, and then we can embed something like RFID information into something like a wear tag. Okay, this is some of the new ventures that I'm doing. And at the same time, because of my knowledge management PhD, I do some research and find out a lot of security guys, they actually use a lot of method and also the findings in knowledge management, say like semantic web, ontologies, and also Hong Kong has a lot of new interesting things have happened for the last, talking about like 12 months. Say the initiative to consolidate all the Hong Kong people health record into a super database. That will be a very interesting project, but also can create a lot of so-called like privacy issues, a lot of like interest issues related to the insurance sectors, the banking sectors, and also at the same time, Hong Kong has one thing that's growing very fast, you get. Switzerland is talking about like 9,000, close to 10,000 kilometers to Hong Kong. But one thing these 2 countries are in common. One thing is money. Okay, for the last 1 year, the cash of like RMB, the China currency in Hong Kong is grown more than 10 times. Okay, right now it's talking about like, the latest figure is something like 30 billion to 40 billion RMB, okay, in Hong Kong. And that should create a lot of very lucrative objective to all the cyber criminals. Because in China, you want to make like a transfer of talking about like 10,000 RMB. It's very difficult, because you have to take the cash one by one and ask a lot of people to carry around to move from bank to banks. But in Hong Kong, you just point a click, because we have a very good infrastructure in terms of financial transaction. That create a lot of so-called attractive to the cyber criminals. And also, one thing even more interesting is, if you have a chance to visit higher education institute in Hong Kong, you will find one very interesting thing, something like the speaker before the lunch mentioned, a lot of PCs are not patched. A lot of firewall signatures or virus signatures are not updated. This is something sounds alert, because a lot of higher education institute in Hong Kong could be some kind of war weapon to all kind of like cyber criminal that you find around the world, from Iran or from Brazil. So something that this is part of my research, and I hope to share my findings. Okay. All right. Because I have some like the Unicode figures. This is I will try, because I have so many slides, I will cut short and make sure that we can focus on something related to the cyber criminals. My focus is, I'm not on technologies. I'm not on how people can invade in the computers. I'm not on how the DL injections work. I'm not on how the SQL injections or the other, something like the advanced persistent threat can affect your computer. I focus on why people will do criminals. Okay. One thing, I will share my experience. Who do their hackings when they were only like 10 years old or 5 years old? Can you raise your hand if you do hackings? Your first hacking experience. Anyone? Anyone do the first hacking when you only like a primary school or like junior high school? Anyone do it? How old when you do the first hacking?
12, I think.
12, I think.
And it was something very basic. It was using what's called a paperclip to join ports on the back of a big 20 to cause overflows of games so you could get more likes.
Okay. My experience is very simple. Okay. I look 35, but I'm much older. My first experience when I only like 12, similar to age. And it's very simple hackings. In Hong Kong, we have the subway systems. They have like a banknote to coins exchange machines. I just test. I insert a $10 banknotes. I keep on pressing the exchange buttons. All the coins keep on falling out. This is my first hacking experience. Very interesting. I can get the whole week petty cash of the coin exchange machines. So you know what happened? Why all kind of like computer criminals or something like the Interpol classify them like a financial IT criminals? Why they want to make this kind of like attack? For fun? No, because it's convenient. It's convenient. Convenience is one of the primary reasons hackers like easy way. They don't like very difficult tasks. That's why we have the DIY kit for hackers. You can just rent something like show before the lunch we see the sky red. I also have another samples from the other company called Team Coolme from Wales. They also show me a lot of like DIY hacking tools around the world, and it's very cheap. Okay, so my focus is also I find it in the criminals. One guy cannot create a big task. It's very interesting because like a bank, if, or maybe I can quote the so-called like the latest, biggest data leakage scandal in the world. It's not related to Sony, it's related to a company called HP Gary. I think we also see this name, listen to this name this morning. This company is very interesting, okay, because they do something, make all the fans to the wiki not very happy. So they group together, they form a collective minds, and then they use something very basic thing called a social engineering to ask the system administrator to release the password, and then they hack into systems to capture, to download all the emails, including their work for some investment bank. So what I saw is all these kind of criminals need some like collective mind. One, they have a common interest, they have a communities, and this attack can be formed, can be launched very easy. Okay. And also, we can also make use of some forensic technique like title analysis to find out some future attack when we come out. Okay. And I will share my finding later in the second part of my slide. Okay. This presentation could be a little bit academics, and hope if you have any questions, just let me know. All right? Okay. I will skip this all kind of like cybercrime history because I don't have enough time. But one thing I would like to draw attention to is all the letters in red, because it's something related to groups, and then also find some another dimension is related to the regions. Initially, I think it's anything related to the people itself or with particular countries, and then when I compare the so-called like the arguments or like dispute between China and US, I also find it's related to the region itself. Okay. I will skip it. Okay. This is my background. Also will skip it. Okay. Okay. Another thing is when we talk about like cyber criminals, we also have one thing in mind. Why, if they want to break into a particular system, if they want to steal the information, and when I search through the internet, search or the cybercrime history, I find it's other than the group, other than the community cultures, another thing is they should have something very targeted on some big business, like whether they can make very big money. Like this guy, Albert, is mainly to break into the system to get all the credit card information because he has a very big target. Okay, and also using the region or county theory. Also, another evidence is a village in Romania because they were a community of hackers, and then they will use all this kind of technique to share the knowledge in hackings, in stealing the IDs, in all kind of like password or like some break-in technique to form like $1 billion of like money laundering or like a payment system. So this is something I found also relate to my like mental model for this kind of cyber criminals. And also in China, I think, I'm not sure whether you heard of like something called a DDoS game, denial of service. In China, it's very cheap. And they can also charge for something like for one user, okay, they can do manual DDoS or like machine DDoS, you're talking like 5 cents. But when they charge or like they want to threat some like online banking or like the other side to stop, they will ask for some ransom at the rate of 500,000 RMB. So you see, these are very high, very profitable, very have a high premium gains for all these online cyber criminals. Okay. Okay. And also one thing is that on the cyber tools itself, because there's a lot of tools that are so free of charge. Even the company like HP Gary, they also use a lot of like free tools to do their core development. This something attract me. Backtrack 4 is free. Okay, people can open the Backtrack 4 to look at the code to learn how to use the payload. Okay, anyone never touched about the Backtrack 4? Just let me know. Anyone never heard of this kind of tools? Because it's also very common in the so-called hacker or the penetrator. Oh, you heard of that. And also under the Backtrack 4, there's also a particular stream. It's called the socialengineering.com. Those guys are very careful. Okay, they really can simulate. Okay, when they look into your DNS setting, they can really know who are the key persons, and they can also go to internet to search all the name of the CEO or the executive or CFO of particular multinationals, and they can pretend they're friends to send emails. Okay, to lure all the users to make a click, either to install Trojans or to go to a fixed site to key in some information. Could be their bank account, could be their login name, could be their relative like a birthday or the other information, very personal. In that sense, they can control and then they can generate the second phase of attack through this kind of social engineering. Okay. Here, I want to stop with, is it social engineering is only related to technology, related to email or related to web? No. Anyone can make a suggestion what kind of the other non-technical social engineering technique? Actually, you're going to find it in the hotels. Hotel people are very careful. If you go to, there's also very good argument in the customer relationship management course or training. The bellboys, the concierge are very careful persons. Okay, when they look at you, they will say, "Oh, when you come back to the hotels." For new customers, they say, "I'm new," but for people from Asia, because we are very shy, we are very inward focused, we will keep silence and then smile. And then the guy will keep on saying, "Oh, you come back. You are the return customer, and then you come back last year. Your last visit is last year, and then they will start asking about your name. Maybe they will check out, they ask you to give their name card or their passport, and they can record all your personal informations. This kind of social engineering data collection technique is not restricted to technology. It can happen in hotels. It can happen to when you visit a supermarket, or you want to could be in Asia. This is also a very interesting phenomenon in Asia. A lot of salesmen, life insurance salesmen, they will just stand on the street, set up a booth. Oh, this is a very, very famous insurance agent, but we cannot prove them. Okay, we have no evidence whether they bring in a sufficient proof they are the employee or staff of this insurance agent. But they will start to ask you about your birthday, your home address, your name, your ID card. Can even ask about your job reference. This happened actually in Hong Kong and also in China. So social engineering is other major issue that I found most cyber criminals are using to get all kind of related informations. And further, a friend of mine work in a Dutch, I don't want to mention the name, okay, work in a Dutch insurance company, and actually they do a lot of tests. They ask people to buy uniform of DHL. They will ask people to buy uniform of UPS, okay, and then they wear it, and then they take a so-called a pseudo gift to go to the secretary of the CEO, go to the desk of the secretary of the COO, and ask whether Mr. and Mr. are here, okay, because they want to deliver some very important personal information or personal gift from his wife, girlfriend, or the other relatives. The objective is try to get all the phone numbers, address, home address. This kind of things, this kind of non-technical social engineering technique is also very common in Asia. So why I keep on saying a lot of this kind of illustration or experiences in Asia, the major crisis is not hacker, how powerful they are using the software tool to attack your website. Because China has a very careful way to educate a data center. In China, we have only 3 internet inbound and outbound travel in 3 major cities. Hong Kong is the 4th one. What is the most dangerous cyber criminal attack is social engineering. And the major issue is not from outside, it's about insiders. I will share you one or two critical incidents in Hong Kong that actually happened about insider threat. Okay, this one thing in China, this is the real case. This is about brokers, stockbrokers in China, guys, cyber criminals. Okay, have only primary educations. Even in Chinese, I have some English write up. It's discovered by one of my members in the other society called HQCIA. They actually use some off-the-shelf DIY hacker tools to crack down the password system in the stockbrokers. But his education level is very, very low, only primary grade. And then he can make use of this break-in to control the stock market stock. He can keep on speculating, oh, this stock is only from 1 cent, and then keep on speculating, push it up to $10. But when the stock price grows so big, the Shanghai Stock Exchange pays special attention and do some immediate investigations and find out these stockbrokers, the system, are hacked by a primary grade investor. So that is one of the major reasons. Is what I point out is hacking tools, hacking techniques, people can just rent. They can search from the black market. What really concerns is how can insert a very tight internal control or something like a very sophisticated instant response system to detect any exceptions. Okay, and this is one thing I do just based on the information I get to create something called a mind map. Okay, because I'm doing knowledge management, I like to create a mind map to validate my thinking. Okay, some key things you can think is on the other hand, you on the left hand side, on the upper part, I found out some natural level issues, say before Russian, and all the other previous Soviet Union countries, they have some national interest, but it's quite down. Because could be, this is not something, cannot catch the world attentions, because maybe Soviet, because a lot of Russian technology company can create very good tools to avoid this. What is really concerned me is something on the right-hand side relate to the financial crimes, okay? Because like even though we have the Zoo network crackdown recently last year by the Interpol and also a joint venture with some country like from Romania, but anyone heard of the latest so-called the Lisa Moon massive secret injection incident in America? That could be another major attack. My question is why Lisa Moon have to impact so many websites to insert all the malware in something close to 1.6 million small websites, so that when people click the website can download a Trojan to control the computers. That could be something related to financial reward, could be to steal the credit card numbers or make use of their Facebook account to create some false attack or like false positive or Trojan to attack the other Facebook users. And then one thing is that I just also mentioned before is about the global cash pool building. Right now, all the anyone don't know the concept of cash pool is related to the treasury. It means that the world can be divided into certain regions from the interbank or from the SWIFT system. Some countries have a lot of cash to do the netting, say from US to Euro or from Brasilia against the US dollars. This also relates to some banks, okay, like JP Morgan and Chase, like Citibanks. Before there's also like ABN AMRO, but right now I think she's part of the so-called DBS from Singapore. All these kind of cash pool have a tendency to move toward the east, mainly to Singapore and Hong Kong. So, and the speed is building very quickly, okay? And that's what, and also another thing alert me, there's a lot of like cyber anti-terrorist task force are building up in Singapore and Hong Kong because they have to handle this kind of so-called very big financial target for all cybercrime to hedge. And also, I'm not sure whether you know is one of the major like hedge fund operators, George Soros, they're also setting up office in Asia. That could indicate Asia could be another very good target for financial-based cyber attack. Okay, so this is, I just collect all the side information and try to predict the next wave. Okay, and another way to validate my finding theory, I need to find a framework. And before I used a Wells company called Tim Curry to find out their attack map. And right now also use another a Wells scholar called Derek Snowden. Okay, he's also very good at the knowledge management, and he also propose a framework to try to model when we have so many people involved, so many hackers involved, what kind of situation that we are now. He proposed like a 4-quadrant model we call the Synfin framework. Okay, I will skip it because I will take a lot of time to explain, but okay. In the Synfin framework, some key things I want to capture is, one thing is any knowledge sharing inside particular community like hacker communities, and also anything that people, how they participate, whether they do online technique sharing or they just subscribe online. So, and then I find out some knowledge disclosure point or some knowledge point in some like IRC check. I will skip this. This is the original Synfin framework for chaos. Okay, there's the 4 quadrants. For one quadrant, this is something really chaos. There's one instance does not depend on the others. And on the other hand, like this one, okay, the community and review, they really have so-called like a best practice. And, okay, sorry, I skipped too fast, okay. And then, when a particular industry is getting mature, there will be a tendency from all the so-called like the shadow area or the chaos area moving from that region to the best practice communities. So I do a mappings, okay, using some history figures. Okay, this is something I mentioned before. This is something that we can, if I jump too far, just let me know, because something a little bit complicated, but I think I don't have sufficient time to explain all the details, okay. And in the early like 70s or 80s, we have a lot of virus, but they're not so organized. Virus just can stop your PC to work. Anyone still remember the famous so-called like the virus called the stone? I think you can search to the virus history and you'll find like a stone. Anyone hit by the virus, the hard drive will just pop out like a stone. And they say your hard drive is infected. But there's no impact because it will not corrupt the files, it will not destroy your database. This is something called inconceivable domains or something like real chaos. And the second one is on the top left-hand corner, okay. The famous like the worm, the Microsoft blaster that impact the world through the something called like a worm because it threw the Microsoft like the TCP, the net BIOS vulnerabilities. At that moment, it's very weak. It's only temporarily suspend or disable your domains. But right now, through the social engineering, like the phishing site tend to lure to attract you to update your password or go to or something like a clickjacking in Facebook. You have a account in Facebook. Sometimes you will get somebody pretend to be your friend and ask you to click to a link. That becomes like a very organized, so-called like a strong and centralized attack. That is something close to the botnet or the other something like the Zoo network or one of the famous like the so-called like the botnet network, the configure. This kind of attack is going to the fourth domain. That is what I call like the so-called best practice. Okay, and that's the trend. Just like the speakers before the lunch, everything is organized. Everything on the technology side, you can just buy from the black market. But what is the next action or next wave of the cyber criminal? Actually, what they're doing is they will just plan a penetrations. They will just listen to some corporate users' activities. And here I want to draw maybe recently. Have anyone heard of the so-called RSA security leakage problems? Okay, so a lot of like research, a lot of like newspapers say it's not anyone break into RSA security token. It's something like called the advanced persistent threat. Means some people actually to poison some machine close to a particular users and then listen to this to their behaviors, listen to all the security frame putting through the network, and then try to simulate or to pretend. This kind of attack is actually very close to something what I just mapped is to the fourth portrait. That is the right, the lower right-hand corners. Okay, so that means in the next criminal, people will just focus on this kind of organized. They will make use of a lot more persistent threat to attack a particular company. And I will proceed, other than financial company like banks or like private bankers in Hong Kong, there's a lot of private bankers. And also, and the next break could be in the Hong Kong like health system because it involves a lot of money, cash, and the interest of a lot of like underwriters. So this is the concept. It's something close. The Simpson model more or less can tell or to simulate the actual current like cyber attack roadmap. And also another thing is they also have another tools. It's called something you may know, the decision tree. Actually, I think they're based on all this kind of fourth portrait, and they try to point out some relationship. I take these tools and work with some of the NGO or non-government organization in China called the Star in Shanghai. Actually, it's one of the spin-off company from the Shanghai police. What we take is we write an articles, okay, based on the decision tree models, and they try to detect and classify all the malware they found in China. And one thing that we also find very interesting, around the world, you have a lot of botnet. There's the control, maybe the command and control could be in South America, okay, but the zombie could be in Europe. Is it common? But in China, we try to find out any zombie in China, but with the command and control center outside China, and the result is negative. I think this could be something related to the so-called like the critical infrastructure design of the whole China, or so-called the Great Firewalls. Okay, I think this document you can find it in some like academic research. You can just copy that and search for the name, and you will see it's published by the Third Research Institute of the Ministry of Public Security. That's the China Police. And okay, it's in Chinese, but we look at, okay, we do like a binary analysis, and we actually classify. We find a lot of like syndromes, and then we try to use the symptom tools to work it out. Some high-level finding is validate my concept, or what symptom predict in China is say, before warm, so few, virus, so few. The trend is moving to the social engineering. In China, social engineering is still the biggest threat. Just like one of the examples is that financial brokers, that stockbrokers get hacked using some simple password cracking tools and control a particular customer account or bunch of accounts, and then to manipulate or to massage the stock price. They can earn through either the stock market or through the future market. This is very, very important truth. And then there's also a trend. There will be some so-called like organized botnet happens. And I will show you a book that you can also find in the internet to further your studies. Anyone have headaches or cannot follow me? Sorry, because if I'm over academic, I have to apologize again. So in case you have anything you have problem to understand, just grab me after talk. Okay. This is something, this malware domain contains a lot of information to prove my findings. Twitter, Facebook, I think, common figure, I cover verbally, okay. This one thing I want to mention is the latest so-called like the organized botnet, okay. Bohu is a virus only happening in China. The target is who? You guess. Because it's a company called Trend Micro in China, because they offer like a cloud-based antivirus solutions. Still excuse me because we have to look at the assembly code. It's very clever. So this kind of things, how can we discover it? The only thing is binary code analysis. Listen Moon I mentioned already. So another social media. In China, social media is more active than email. Okay, because in China there's some so-called a lot of like government sponsor and other biggest media could be the iPhone and also the SMS base. SMS is the very biggest market to spread the virus or the other kind of Trojans. Okay, this book is very. I think you try to search in internet. I'm not sure whether it's being taken down or not, but it's a very good book. It's written by a local Chinese. Even though the name is Scott Henderson, but I find out it's a local Chinese. It can give you the whole histories about so-called the hackers or activities, starting from talking about 1970 till now. So it's a very good book, and I found a lot of good information to search. Anyone read this book before? No? Just copy the name. Okay. And one thing I want to point out is China hackers, unlike the European hackers, they have a syndrome is they just like something like a yeast. They start the biting or multiplying at the central and then being controlled layer by layers. I think one thing you heard of is true is the hacker communities is semi-monitored by the authorities. Okay, some hackers are actually part of the authorities. Okay, I will skip this. The only thing I want to point out is Tim Cooney foundings. I have to give the credit back to them because they're doing a good job. I still remember in the agendas. Oh, you from Tim Cooney, right? A friend. I know Mike Goldstein. Okay. You look at this. Talk about the early of March. You look at the Europe. There's only few red, but right now, you look at here. The degree of compromise is huge. So I can dare say it's like could be Europe, could be Switzerland, have a higher degree of being attacked by cyber criminals. Because just look at this kind of like degree of compromise. 2 minutes, very short. Anyone know this guy? A British? Great, bingo. He's still alive, but just quit the Singapore prisons, okay? I can share right now his technique, how he covered the laws, okay, in the futures. It actually happened in Hong Kong before. Last year, in a local, I don't want to mention the name, a local bank, okay, in Hong Kong, bond traders covered the laws. Is also using the same technique employed by Nick Neeson, talking about 10 years ago. And Hong Kong is also famous for two things for the last 12 years. The first thing is, you could heard of the SARS disease, okay, 2003. And it's also another thing you may not know is this, in the financial crisis in 1998, when Thailand broke down, actually Hong Kong to multi-party effect through all the investment banks and then spread the way throughout the world. So maybe in the next 5 years, it could happen again. I don't know. And the driver could come from some cyber criminal or some organized insider crime. Who know this guy? A European. You know, your colleague? Sorry, I just joking. Sorry. Fusefons or? Sorry? Fusefons? Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Personally, I know who he is, but I don't know personally. I'm not.
Okay. Anyway, this guy is also famous. Social engineering. Traders, from junior traders to division managers, he can keep on collecting all the authorities for friends. Internal controls is very important. And this could happen in Europe and could happen in Hong Kong very soon. I just mentioned something because they use some like advanced persistent threat to monitor key executive movement behaviors and then simulate the threat to break down the keys. I want to skip this. I mentioned before. Okay. Predictions. Hong Kong could be highly probably. Why? Because in terms of the regulations, Hong Kong is still developing. Singapore is high jumper like in data. I just read the news. I think it's almost time. I just read the news like 5 minutes ago. Singapore just released the latest data center security guidance. Okay, but Hong Kong has nothing. So the location could be in Hong Kong, and the area could be in some way called the health, because it involves a lot of interest from the pharmaceuticals company, from the patient, from the billing, from the insurance. And also another thing is because Hong Kong has a lot of education in hacking techniques. This also is like an official survey is every day in Hong Kong, more or less there could be one class or one company will hold like a penetration test to teach people to do like BT4. This is something like very interesting. And something I also help the local law enforcement to do some like web survey to find out the truth. But the result could be released, talk about next month. Okay, so that's all. And okay, regarding questions, I keep on saying that this is a lot of our observations. And at the same time, also having another organization called ISC2 or ISC2 to promote something called a secure programming. So the question is everything is all about the secure programming technique. You may know it's very common sense, but I just want to test whether you have a very good sense of secure development, okay, in your own positions. So this is my idea. It's nothing related to my presentation because this is the foundation. If you can develop very good, very solid, secure software, a lot of problems can be avoided. Okay, this is my thinking and also my ideas. I need to ask a smart and handsome guy to help me.
Question.
Yeah. Okay. The first one is not this one. Yes. Okay, like IRC check server. Anyone don't know IRC check server? Don't know. Okay, everyone know it? Okay. So it's about programming technique. I make use of the UML. Okay, and mutex is like mutually exclusive. TOC, time of like control. TOU, time of usage. Race condition is something like a semaphore, token block, open block, you know that, open locking and deadlockings. So which one you think, if IRC check server, when two users try to access the same check server, okay, which one will happen? Will actually appear, okay? Is it like mutually exclusive conditions, or just like a race condition, or like a time of usage? Just try, because this is the basic of secure programming paradigm or methodologies. So 1, 2, 3, you guess. 11 volt. So? Yes. C. Good.
Okay. So
something.
We have to,
it's my problem.
Yeah, we have to restart. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the answer is C. Because I guess this is something you can take it back to your like working location or education location to find out more. This is what I think. It's okay. Okay.
Next question is. Yes.
Okay. C. Okay, stop here.
Yeah.
Stop here. Why C? Because in a lot of online gambling sites, like in Hong Kong, we have the very famous like Hong Kong Jockey Club. They actually have hackers try to hack. They use partial DDoS. They use the denial of service through a particular regions, and other region using the same technique. They actually almost crack down the so-called clock sync key. They actually make use of this kind of race conditions. So I press space. Okay. This is the use case. Talking about the UML. Okay. Okay. You guess. The keyword I can tell you is a transverse. So which one is more appropriate? So I press.
No. Just don't press anything.
Oh. Well, this is a way to detect. Okay, because in secure programming methodologies, we think just reverse. Okay, this is a normal use case scenarios. We do something on the contrary, because the hackers always think, okay, if I do something, not follow the orders, not from start to end, but from end to start. This is something called the immersion method. Okay, and the next one. Okay, a scientist. Here's a question you can guess. Okay. So which one you think is not appropriate or not true? This is a test of your common sense. I mean, as a security professionals, it's a test of your sense. D. Okay, because for the rest, it's very common technique. Okay, it's very common technique when we develop like a secure software development. The last one, because input validation is to improve the integrities. Okay, improve the integrities. Input validation is to improve the integrities. It's not to improve the confidentialities. Only encryption will improve that. Okay, and press. Okay. Symmetric algorithm, encryptions. I guess which one are not true? Or which one is the biggest troubles? Think. PKI infrastructure, is it the symmetric or asymmetrics? Okay, so anyone don't agree? Because symmetric and encryption, you have to keep on the key, I pass the key to you, and you have to pass the key to the others. So a lot of keys are being exchanged. Okay. If security personnel keep on saying CIA, right? Confidentiality, integrity, and availabilities. Integrity properties can be protected by all of the above except one thing. Anyone get it right? Anyone don't agree? Because database, the answer is for the database design, okay, for the normalizations, okay. So, any questions? Next one.
Just have time for maybe one question. Is there any question?
Because I prepared 9 questions, so it's, do you want to complete? No, not.
Sorry?
I prepared 9 questions, it's almost close.
Oh, there's still one left?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay. So, okay, about understanding of the weakness of any particular languages, okay, which one has the weakest link? Why? Because PHP can have one variables can easily convert into another variable easily, unlike Pascal, which is strong typings. So in case if your internal or website development use a strong languages, okay, or strong typing, they can avoid a lot of like SQL injections. The most common attack is SQL injections. Okay. Okay, so we have 4 ways to avoid the SQL injections. Which ring is the poorest one? Try more guess. Try more guess. If you do a lot of like Java development, you use a lot of like servlet, store procedures, or even using token key for our authentications. But the first one is useless. Okay.
We have to stop it.
Yeah, stop here. Okay.
Okay, is that okay?
Yes.
Because next one is waiting. So thank you very much to Daniel
Yeah.
and Guy from Hong Kong.
Thank you.
For coming to us.
Thank you. So I just unplugged it.